Welcome to my workshop, a tiny little space detached from the house that my sweetheart Jason cleaned up for me. I call this place affectionately Paper Town. My channel started out as mostly a focus on learning to make junk journals. Since beginning the channel, I have found that there is so much more that appeals to me as an artist, as a person, as a woman, and as a woman who is getting older and enjoys expressing herself creatively. I have always felt like that just the very act of living is art. Moving through my life as a married woman, having 4 children, and being in a long-term emotionally abusive relationship, I have done a lot of healing over the last decade of being away from that marriage. I sort of enjoyed art in high school, although I did get in trouble one time because a really cute, almost at the time famous, now famous, artist came into our classroom and he asked at the end of a lecture if anybody had any questions. I raised my hand and asked for his phone number. That said, when I truly realized that I had to untangle myself from the 23-year marriage and all that comes with that, that was one of the darkest chapters of my life. It's very hard to speak about, and it's very hard to revisit that time without having the tears just overflow again. One of the things that rescued me at that time was art. I began to make little clay dolls and dress them in clothing that I would stitch onto them from scraps that I had. Beautiful pieces of fabric, tiny pieces of fabric, tiny dolls. And I was able to write stories for them. I could never write a sad story for one of my dolls. It was always a happy ending. I also began painting on canvases with acrylic paint. I started to journal more passionately. I had always kept journals. My journals were mostly words. I wrote about all of my 4 babies. Words they said, funny stories, places we went, how much I loved just smelling their little faces and their necks and looking at their little feet and knowing that they would grow up fast, and they did. Would not trade these thousands and thousands of words. Then I discovered junk journals and the fact that you could alter books and fill them not only with words but with beautiful items, even pieces of trash like candy bar wrappers, bottle caps. You could tie strings through the signatures and have lovely charms, and I was so hooked. I'm still hooked. From there, it seemed natural to start finding ways to bind books and make books, something that was unique to my imagination and my own creativity. I bound things with safety pins. I cut fabric strips and sewed pages together. If you're still hanging in there after 4 minutes of explaining to you how I got into this workshop, you may wonder, what is the point of this? I wanted to just say this channel has expanded to more than just junk journals. Yes, there are going to be junk journals on here, and lots of them. In addition to that, I'm going to be sharing lifestyle videos, including skincare, exercise, and clothing, fashion, altering clothing, whatever you want to call it. We have a wonderful community of subscribers here. I welcome you to subscribe, and I hope that you will click that bell for notifications. That lets you know when there's a new video here, and not just here, but any channel that you follow. If you're like me and you follow a lot of channels, that notification that someone has new content is really important. It lets you know that someone has something out there. You might want to watch that particular video, you might not, but at least you know that it's there. If you don't get notifications, new content that is created can just get lost in a sea of videos. So please subscribe, please click the bell for notifications, and I will see you really soon. Bye for now.